What do you care enough about to sacrifice something for? I think this is the core of what giving is all about. It might not feel that dramatic in the daily ways we give, but at its core, giving is partially about sacrifice. And giving is also about creating a web of mutuality that comes back to hold us and support us, even as we give away what we can. Another question: what connects you to what you value most in this life? This year, my sermon series is about practices of connection, the things we do that draw our attention to what matters. Some might call these things spiritual practices, but I believe they have as much or more to do with the physical realm as the spiritual one. When we practice something, we are doing it over and over again, maybe multiple times a day, or once daily, or weekly, maybe for just a season of the year. What I'd like us to reflect upon today is how the act of giving is one thing that connects us to what we value most. So, what is it that we value enough in this world to give of ourselves to make it so? The idea of tithing, or giving a tenth of what we have to religious communities or congregations, comes out of the Hebrew Scriptures in chapter 28 of Genesis with a vow from Jacob. If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat, and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my Father's house in peace, then the Lord shall be my God, and this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be God's house. And all of that you give me, I will surely give 1/10 to you. So here it is about a promise made to repay that which is given. If God provides for us, we will then reciprocate by giving back 1/10 of what we have received. What this is often said to mean is that 1/10 of our incomes should be given to our religious community. I don't know about you, but I do not pledge 1/10 of my income to any particular religious community. Rather than focus on the specifics of the text, which I believe say more than that one should give away 1/10 of what they have, not to a specific organized body like a church, but rather to give away some of what is made possible by being a part of this world to another. We do not make wealth in a vacuum. We do not create all that we need or have all that we have without the larger circle of existence. Being part of society and part of the interdependent web of life is what makes things like bread and clothing, running water in our homes, and retirement possible. We participate in this world in such a way that we receive more than what we need to survive. Sandra Warrior's Pistol Bullet, an indigenous artist, recently tweeted this: "I'm not self-made. I'm community-made. I'm family-made. I'm land-made. I'm ancestor-made. I'm made up of everything and everyone that made me exist outside just myself." None of us are self-made. None of us are in this alone. And to me, that is what the vow in Hebrew Scriptures and the tweet from just last month are both pointing us towards. We are part of a larger existence, and part of living justly in this world is to acknowledge the debt we owe to those we may never meet. One way we do this is through giving financially to the organizations we benefit from or believe in the missions of enough to freely give away some of what we have to help make what they do in this world possible. We also give away our talents and time through volunteering. Sometimes it is about doing simple tasks that just need to be done for another. And sometimes it is about using some specific gift we have in the name of a cause we believe in. What I think is most tied up in the act of giving and in so many of the practices of connection we will explore this year is that giving is about sharing our attention. Whether it be money or action, we are really giving our attention, our time, our very life on this planet to something beyond ourselves. Robin Wall Kimmerer writes in Braiding Sweetgrass, respiration, the source of energy that lets us farm and dance and speak. The breath of plants gives life to animals, and the breath of animals gives life to plants. My breath is your breath is mine. It's the great poem of give and take, of reciprocity that animates the world. Isn't that a story worth telling? In this way, life itself is about giving and receiving. Without it, the very basics of our world would not function, and we see the outcomes when greed overtakes generosity. When we as a species take too much of the natural world, things tip out of balance. When companies value profits over people, society as a whole suffers. But this is not the natural state of things. Nature is all about cycles and systems that feed into one another, as Alberto Rios calls our attention to in his poem. One river gives its journey to the next. We give because someone gave to us. We give because nobody gave to us. We give because giving has changed us. We give because giving could have changed us. You gave me blue, and I gave you yellow. Together, we are simple green. You gave me what you did not have. I gave you what I had to give. Together, we made something greater from the difference. There is a great amount of trust in the act of giving, a set of beliefs about what can happen next, and no small amount of hope about the possibilities that are created. When we give, we are doing more than offering support to another. We are participating in the cycle of existence. We are giving away our time, our life in symbolic or literal ways when we add those moments of our lives or dollars earned with them to an organization, a protest, or another person directly in order to keep the gift flowing. So when I ask, what do you care about enough to sacrifice something for? What I am really asking is what in this world are the things that you want to be most deeply connected to through the act of giving some of your life to it. And know that it is not a one-way street. Those bits of time, of life, are not evaporated the moment they are given away. They become other moments, other things once they are given. And those gifts pass through many hands, many hearts, and return to us transformed beyond recognition. Because we receive untold gifts to get us to this moment, pieces of life passed around that make us and nourish us and comfort us. This is why what we choose to give to matters, and why we should choose to give to that which we value most whenever possible. And through the act of giving, we are connected to that larger web of reciprocity that makes all of existence possible. There is no set percentage that makes it right. What makes generosity an act of connection is when it happens freely and is frequent enough that our lives reflect the truth that we are not self-made. We are not alone. Instead, we are in this together. We are only possible together. May our gifts call us into relationship. May our giving honor the lives that make it possible. And may we remember to say thank you when the gifts come our way in return. So may it be.